Hello, YouTube world, and welcome to our channel, Kris and Larissa, or is it Kris and Larissa? Kris and Larissa Saving Old. Today, what I would love to do is take you guys on a tour on our really dysfunctional kitchen in our Victorian home. Starting with our second sink area. So what we have going on right now is absolute clutter. It also lacks any kind of historic or Victorian charm of any kind. As I swivel you around, you will see that there's one original feature here, and it is an original built-in, or at least pre-1920s, I would imagine. This is definitely staying. This is our first sink. There's nothing really wrong with this upper section here, but with what is absolutely bizarre, this really interesting layout on how I don't even know how and why they decided to raise our dishwasher here. This just drives me absolutely nuts. I remember the realtor was trying to kind of sell me on this of, oh, look at this, how great, you don't have to bend over. And I was thinking, it looks ridiculous. So that's something I'm really excited to get rid of. So let's continue to pan around here. We have our massive and ridiculously big for the space refrigerator that I think we will leave if we can do something different with the trash can. So that will create more space here. We also have what Kris and I use as our coffee and tea station. I have decluttered, I have Marie Kondoed, I have thanked my items and I've passed them on, but just dysfunctional. And then we have all of this open space up top. We also need to patch our ceilings back in. Let me just warn you, first of all, I am not an architect, but what I like to do when I have an idea in my head and it feels a little bit complicated to explain, I will sometimes draw it out. So, because we are on such a tight budget, we are on a $3,000 budget, everything is staying. The layout is staying for the most part, and we are reusing all of these cabinets. What I've concentrated on this morning is this cabinet here, and then the upper cabinet. I have not done anything with the lower cabinet because I'm still trying to find the perfect either reproduction sink or antique sink that will also allow us to have a garbage disposal. Something that has really bothered me in this section of the kitchen is that, number one, look how tiny the space is here. It's really cramped here and it makes this countertop space not very functional. Number two is we have all of this dead space. So what I've done on my drawing is I've drawn it how I would love for it to be. Here's the ceiling. Here is the right-hand cabinet. And so what it looks like now is you just have this cabinet, and then all the way up here is where the dead space is. So what I have decided to do is I would love to have another cabinet made to tuck in to that space right here. And then what the plan is on this side is to take this cabinet that's already here and push it up all the way to the ceiling. So that'll give me a nice amount of space here, but I feel like that's not quite enough. So I wanna add another section. These squiggly lines here, they're supposed to be straight, but I was in a hurry. These represent what I would love to have on this side of the kitchen, which is plate racks. So I would love to have 2 rows of plate racks here. And then I also would like to have a cute little row of pegs down here. If you look at a really old-fashioned shaker style kitchen, would be more, 1700s. So that's totally predating my house. But what I love about a shaker kitchen are the pegs, and what people do is they can hang things in cute little baskets and get things off of the countertop. I want it to have an old-fashioned feel, but I also need it to be functional. So even though the pegboard predates our 1909 house, I still think it will be very charming, and most people would have no idea that a peg board would be from, you know, 1700s versus 1909. And I think it'll look really, really well in here. So that is my plan, and we'll keep you updated, and I'll bring you guys along for the ride.